All right. Good morning. We're going to get started just because we want to be cognizant of everybody's time this morning. My name is Amy Reardon. I am one of the outreach coordinators for Delaware Commute Solutions, and I want to thank you for joining us today. I am joined with my team as well, Arlene Beltran, who is also an outreach coordinator, Kathleen Greer, who is our project manager, and James Williams, who is our admin. As I mentioned, if you can please make sure you are muted. If you do have any questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat box, as well as your name and where you're joining us from, and we will get started with our info series number 16, What's Your Mode? So we can advance to the next slide. All right, Delaware Commute Solutions. You may have heard of Rideshare Delaware. We just rebranded at the end of January, so we are now Delaware Commute Solutions. It is the same program, just a better suited name. We are a free commuter service program through Dart First State. We work with employers, employees, colleges, as well as higher education institutions as well, and students. And our goal is to improve the air quality and reduce traffic congestion. And we do this by encouraging all modes of clean commuting. We were established in 1997, and we are dedicated to reducing the number of single occupancy vehicles on Delaware's highways. And also by doing this, we are assisting with your transportation options on how to get to work or to school. Next slide, please. So I mentioned clean commute modes. So here are all our modes. If you're currently doing any of these, I encourage you to register if you are not a registered member of Delaware Commute Solutions so that you can utilize our other benefits. If you're not doing any of the clean commutes, or maybe you're driving alone to work or to school, I encourage you to register to look at what other commute modes may work for you with our customized commute planning. So just to quickly go over our clean commute modes, we have carpooling. So that's when you are sharing a ride with either fellow coworkers or fellow students, and you're sharing that cost and you're reducing the number of vehicles on the road. Biking and walking. So when you have a safe route to do so, and you are close enough that you feel comfortable biking or walking to get to work or school. Transit is going to be both the DART bus as well as the SEPTA trains. Compressed work week. So when you are working a longer day, so not your typical, let's say 9 to 5, you have a longer work day, you usually will have an additional day off, and which you would not be commuting on. That's why it's considered a clean commute mode. Vanpooling, we work with Commute with Enterprise to help establish vanpools at specific work sites or schools. And they work best when there's about maybe 5 or more individuals who can join that vanpool. And you're traveling about 25 or 30 minutes or more. And that's when it's most cost effective to be part of a vanpool. Also, teleworking. Some people don't think teleworking is a clean commute, but it actually is, because you're not even getting in a vehicle to go anywhere. So many of us maybe had to telework the past year, or remote work as it's also known as, but teleworking or remote working is a clean commute. Now, all these clean commutes, it could be whether you are full-time, part-time, or even seasonal. Next slide, please. So how does Delaware Commute Solutions work with you? So 2 ways. We work with the commuter, and when you register for the program, you receive the free member benefits, which we'll go over. And then we also work with the employer or the schools, and we partner together so that we can create a customized plan that is tailored to that specific work site or school. And then we also help educate the employees and the students about the benefits with Delaware Commute Solutions and how they can utilize those benefits. So as a whole, we're offering a variety of free services and tools that help you put together a successful commute plan that works specifically for you. Next slide. So what does Delaware Commute Solutions offer to commuters? So 3 main benefits that you can utilize when you register for the program. We do customized commute plans. So basically that helps you see which clean commute modes would work best. So you could start with your home address and your work or school address, and we'll route that out for you. We do have a rewards program as well. And when you are an active clean commuter and you're registered for the program, you can record your clean commute, let's say carpooling or taking the bus. You earn 200 points per day. And as you accumulate points, we have over 500 rewards that then you can choose which reward you would like to get back. And it can range anywhere from shopping, dining, local attractions, online stores, and we even have a monthly drawing. And every month that drawing may vary in a gift card value. It could be $25, $50, or $100. You can enter it up to 20 times, and it's 500 points to enter. So that is a great incentive for you to record your clean commutes. And then we also have a guaranteed ride home benefit. And again, an active clean commuter who is registered for Delaware Commute Solutions, and let's say you took the bus to get to work, and then for some reason you cannot get back home that same way, you can call an Uber, Lyft, taxi, or even a fellow coworker or family member can give you a ride home, and Delaware Commute Solutions will reimburse you that cost of that, let's say Uber or Lyft, or we can reimburse the mileage if a coworker gave you a ride home. You just need to save a receipt, fill out the guaranteed ride home reimbursement form that can be found on our website, and record that clean commute for the day. And the guaranteed ride home benefit you can utilize up to 5 times a year. So that's a great benefit when you don't have your own personal vehicle at work, because you know that will be able to get home and get reimbursed for that cost of that ride home up to 5 times a year. Next slide. So before we get into how to customize your commute and also some safety tips for commuting, we have some poll questions. And if you open up the chat, you should be able to see these poll questions. And the first question is, how do you currently commute? So we want to get an idea of how you're currently commuting. So if you can go ahead and you can check off, for example, if you are teleworking, if you're carpooling or vanpooling, we put those together because both of them you're sharing a ride with other individuals. So if you could go ahead and click which commute you're currently doing, and then we're going to actually do another poll. So I see some responses coming in. So it looks like we have some individuals teleworking. We have somebody driving alone currently. And there will be another poll we're launching, and it's going to say, what is your preferred method of commuting to work or to school? So if you could choose which method to commute, which one would you choose? So again, you have all your different options. So if you could go ahead and check off which one you would prefer and submit that so we can take a look and just get an idea of how people would like to commute to work or school. Oh, and let's see, we also have someone mentioned that they like to bike. Biking is a great option. Okay, and I see too, I believe for the preferred mode, we have some teleworkers. So some of you would like to work from home, some would like to bike and also drive alone. All right, great. Well, thank you for the responses. We're going to move on, and that just gives us a good idea of how we're commuting and how we would like to commute. So we could go on to the next slide, please. Okay, so I mentioned one of the benefits is customizing your commute. So this gives you a visual on how Delaware Commute Solutions can map out your route and then show you what your options are. So when you are a member, you can go, one of the options is find rides or customizing your commute. So what we have here is we put a starting point of Newark, Delaware. And we're going to Nemours Children's Hospital, which is in Wilmington. And as you see from this photo, it shows you all your different modes. So we have possibly 49 carpoolers, 0 vanpools at this time, 4 transit routes, 1 bike route, and 1 walk route. So if I wanted to see who my carpool matches were, I would click on the 49 carpoolers. Another window would actually open to the right of that. and it would show me my top 5 matches. Now, the Delaware Commute Solutions program, we provide your matches for carpooling, but it is up to you to initiate the conversation if you would like to carpool with one of your matches and kind of set up your own schedule for that carpool. So for example, if my top 5 matches was John Smith, and what I can do is I can reach out to John. I would send him an email through the program mentioning that we are a match for carpooling because we're going to the same work location. And from there, we would have a conversation if we would take turns driving, if maybe there was a primary driver, and how we would work it out. So again, the program provides you matches, but it does not establish the schedule or your carpool rules, so to speak. Same thing for the 4 transit routes. If I want to see which transit routes those were, I would click on 4 transit routes. Another window would open. It would show me the route and the estimated time as well that it would take me to get from A to B. So this is just a brief example of how Delaware Commute Solutions does customize your commute, and it provides your options on how to get from home or to work or to school. Next slide. So what we're going to do now is, with many businesses reopening and people starting to go back to work or to school in person, a lot of questions that we've had were, what are some safety tips? How can we keep ourselves safe while we're still commuting? So we're going to go through some safety tips for your clean commute. The tips that we have gathered are through our industry protocols, and that we encourage everyone to utilize these tips to help maximize your safety when you are commuting to work or to school. So first up, we have some carpool and vanpool safety tips. Again, we're linking them together because you are sharing rides with other individuals. So first off, if you do not feel well, do not, get in a vehicle with somebody else and drive to work. If you don't feel well, stay home. Sometimes you may have that option to work from home, that would be great too. But the number one safety tip is, if you don't feel well, do not drive or ride with somebody else. Another safety tip you're going to see through pretty much the majority of the commuting modes is wear a mask at all times while you're in the vehicle. So just like when you're in an office or within a classroom, you would be currently wearing your mask. Same thing for when you are in a vehicle. If you have the option, sharing a ride with someone you work with or live with is going to be your best option. If you don't live with somebody, but you work in the same office, or maybe you're in the same classroom, that's a great person to carpool with or vanpool with, because you're already in contact with that individual. So you're decreasing your contacts with other people if you're sharing a ride with those you already work with, live with, or go to school with. If there's only 2 people in the vehicle, we encourage you to sit one in the front and one in the back. However, if there's more, that's not a possibility. But also, try not to touch everything. Obviously, you need to touch the door to get in, touch your seatbelt to put your seatbelt on, but try to keep your hands to yourself while you're actually in the vehicle. Again, cleaning and disinfecting is important, so especially those touch surfaces. So to open up the door, the seat belts, those are important areas to really focus on when cleaning the vehicles. Another great tip is, do not use recirculating air. So you want to vent in as much fresh air as possible. So on your dashboard, you have the button on there that you can actually push to recirculate the air in the vehicle. So make sure that is off, so you're pulling in fresh air from outside. And also try to keep your windows open. And that, with the weather starting to warm up, hopefully soon, that'll be easier to do by cracking the windows or keeping them open, so you are getting in as much fresh air and you're pulling in that fresh air. With anything else, washing and sanitizing your hands before you enter the vehicle and after you enter the vehicle. Next slide. So now we're moving on to transit. So we have some transit safety tips, and I want to encourage you also, if you are riding the bus or looking to ride a DART bus, please go to their website, dartfirststate.com, and it could provide you more information. Again, number one safety tip: if you do not feel well, don't ride. While you are on the bus, please always wear a mask. The one thing we want to encourage too is if you're utilizing the DART bus, please go ahead, if you have a smartphone, and download the DART Pass app and the DART Transit app. Now, the DART Pass app will allow you to purchase your bus pass through your phone. So it makes it very easy to do, and also there's no contact, it's contactless, which is great. That's what everybody is pushing right now, is contactless payment. So you would download the app, you can purchase your pass, and as you board the bus with your mask on, feeling great, you would just show the app, you would tap on it and would show the driver that it is a current bus pass. Now, the DART Transit app is great to use as well because you could plan your route. By using the DART Transit app, it shows the bus routes that are in your area, and it also gives you real-time information. So this is helpful so you know when that bus is scheduled to come, and also it provides the estimated time as well. So these are two apps that are great to utilize for DART. Also, while you're on the bus, please practice social distancing. They do have designated seats to help maintain that social distance, but just be aware of the people around you as well when you're on the bus. And again, just like with carpooling and vanpooling, make sure to wash, sanitize your hands before and after. And again, I encourage you for more information to go directly to dartfirststate.com. Next slide, please. So bike safety tips. And I know we had someone on the call who likes to bike to work or to school, and biking's a great option. Again, with the weather warming up, this is a great option if you have a safe route to do so. So a couple tips that we have gathered from our resources, and if you want more information, I have on the bottom of this slide where you could go. I encourage you to go to Bike Newark, Bike Delaware, or even the Urban Bike Project. There's some great resources, and you can reach out for more information regarding biking and safely commuting to work or to school. But real quick, we encourage you to do a ABCD quick check. This is important to do before you jump on your bike to get to work or to school. And it should only take a couple minutes. So you want to make sure your tires are properly inflated. That's going to be A. B, brakes. Make sure your brake pads are in good shape, because you don't want to be cruising down the road and then realize your brakes aren't working properly. Chain. Your chain is straight, cleaned, and oiled, because you don't want to have to worry about your chain coming loose. And then something you might not think of doing, but drop. Raise your bike about 2 inches, not too far, and then drop your bike and check for any loose parts, or if something did fall off as well. Plan your route, and that's one thing you can do with Delaware Commute Solutions. Just like I showed you in the customized commute planning, you can put your starting and your ending location, and Delaware Commute Solutions will map out your route, and you can check your bike route. So we do have an example here of what it would look like for a bike route that was mapped out to get from A to B. Make sure that if there is a bike lane, use it. If there is no bike lane, ride with the traffic. Wear your helmet and your reflective gear. You want to make sure you are visible to all drivers, and obey traffic signals. Remember, you are a vehicle that is on the road. You also need to obey those traffic signals. And again, I encourage you, please visit our other bike resources that I have mentioned here, Bike Newark, Bike Delaware, and Urban Bike Project, and they can provide you with more information on bike safety overall, and also commuting to work or to school. Next slide. So walking safety tips. Plan your route again. So here we have a visual of a walking route planned out from A to B, and you can utilize Delaware Commute Solutions to do that. Being visible to drivers is very important. Just like when you're riding a bike, you want to be visible. When you are walking, you need to be visible to drivers as well. Please use crosswalks and sidewalks when they are there. However, if you're in an area that does not have a crosswalk or sidewalk, walk facing traffic, but you want to be as far away from the traffic as you possibly can. Keep alert at all times. I have seen so many people walking and they're using their cell phones or their eyes are looking down. When you are walking, even when you're biking too, please make sure that you are alert at all times. Don't be distracted by your electronic devices. And also, we discourage walking or biking with listening to music, because you need to be able to hear and be aware of what's going on around you as well. And when you are crossing, make sure to always look left, right, left before crossing. And one other tip is, if you're coming up where you need to cross and there's vehicles there, one general tip is make sure to make eye contact with those drivers, because sometimes cars may have a blind spot and they may not see you. But if you make eye contact, you'll know that they see you there, and then it's okay for you to cross. And again, another great resource for some walking safety tips is going to be the site AliveDelaware.com WalkSmart, and this is a resource through the Delaware's Office of Highway Safety, who's actually a partner with us as well. So they have some great information about overall highway safety, and then specifically for walking. Next slide. So those are our safety tips that we briefly went over for your active commute to work or to school. Again, if you have any questions, please go ahead in our chat. You can put questions and we'll go through them as they pop up. But I've given you all this information, and if you aren't a registered member of Delaware Commute Solutions, how do you get started? So you can either go to our website, delawarecommuteSolutions.org, or you can download our app, and we do have a visual of what the app looks like. And this is good for either Android or iPhone. So please go ahead, if you like having the app, go ahead and download the app. When you're either on the website or the app, all you need is your first name, your last name, email. You create your own password, and then you're all set to go. You'll get into your profile, complete your profile, add a profile picture. And when I mention add a profile picture, if you're not comfortable adding a picture of yourself, feel free to go ahead and you could put a profile picture if you have a dog or a cat or the beach, whatever your preference is. But putting a profile picture there is required, especially if you want to enter the monthly drawing. You need to have a profile picture. We also have how-to videos on our website. So if you go to our website, go to our resources and how-tos, you'll see several videos that will walk you through, and they're about 1 to 2 minutes long. They'll walk you through how to sign up, how to complete your profile, and how to record your clean commutes. Next slide. I also want to remind you there is 1 day left for our March contest. And what this March contest is a 3-question poll. And once you answer those 3 questions, if you put in your email, you'll be entered for a chance to win a $25 Wawa gift card. So tomorrow is the last day for that. So please make sure to go onto our website, and you'll see it, the contest there. You could just click on that, answer the 3 questions, and you'll be entered into the drawing. And next slide. Okay, and again, thank you for joining us. I actually see we do have a question. Let me pull up the chat. So how do we ensure that it is safe to ride with someone you do not know? So with Delaware Commute Solutions, it is a voluntary program. So again, anybody who lives, works, or goes to school in Delaware can register for the program. When you go to look for a carpool match, you have the ability, so you will not see their home address, you'll see their ending location, so their work location or their school location. So let's just say, I'm going to stick with Newark Children's Hospital, which was our example for the customized commute. Let's say I'm coming from Newark and I'm traveling to Nemours. I can see the other individuals that work specifically at Nemours, and then it will match me up with other individuals that are in the surrounding area. So if I want to stick with just the employees that I work with, I will be able to see where they're working, and I will be able to know that Mary works at Nemours, so I feel more comfortable carpooling with Mary because we work at the same location, and our employer has, in a sense, vetted the employees that are working there. The other thing too is I've noticed when people do get matched up for carpooling is You get matched up to people that you do work with and that you probably already know. You just didn't realize that you lived around each other, or maybe you traveled the same route in. So again, it's a voluntary program. If you do not feel comfortable carpooling with someone that you don't know, then don't carpool with that individual. If you get matched up with someone that you work with, I encourage you to have a conversation with them, maybe possibly meet up for coffee, and just make sure that you feel comfortable riding in a vehicle with that individual. And at any point, if you don't feel comfortable, you're in control of that, so you can make the decision not to carpool at that time. Another question, are there any government initiatives to increase bike routes, for instance, from Newark to Wilmington? I don't know off the top of my head. I know, again, with some of our resources with Bike Delaware, Bike Newark, and also with Delaware Greenways, they're always working to increase biking throughout the state of Delaware. They would be a good resource to go to, and also Will Mapgo too is a great resource to utilize to see what some of the initiatives are for bike routes and for walking, because they all of our resources are trying to encourage people, specifically biking when it comes to Bike Delaware, Bike Newark, and Delaware Greenways is biking and walking. So off the top of my head, I don't know any specific initiatives, but that is a good place to start, is looking at those resources. Kathleen, I know you're on the call. I don't know if you have anything to add for that specific question.
The specific route from Newark to Wilmington, I do not have a specific information on that, just knowing that that Delaware is looking into expanding the whole trailway system, and the newest one was in a couple of years ago, the Markow Trail, which links Newcastle into Wilmington, and they have that whole trail set up. So specifically for a route to Newark to Wilmington, I do not know, but the long range plans, like you had mentioned through Will Mapco, would lay out that potential, bike trail and things like that.
Thank you, Kathleen. So I hope I answered your questions or provided you some information on directing you to possibly see where you could get some answers, such as Will Mapgo and Bike Delaware. So if there's no other questions, I want to say thank you for joining us today. I hope you found the information beneficial. We do have our monthly series coming up in April. It is Info Series number 17. It will be April 16th. It will be held at 10 o'clock again till 10:30. So please go ahead and mark your calendars, and we will have the information coming out for that as well with the registration link. So on behalf of the Delaware Commute Solutions team, I would like to thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend and stay safe.
And happy spring to everyone.